if he can get ahead, and you know the Irelia will be able to win out on that one. And you have your 3-man core that does have the ability to force when members like Breathe and Shanks are coming off on flanks. So for WE, they have the Penguin.
Wei is here, and they might just look for a straight-up engage. They are going to pop down a little bit of damage. Wei wasting a lot of time, but now they go in, they flash forward, they force the cleanse, they're going to flash in on top of them. They have the red buff, they have the damage! First blood to RNG. What a creative way to start the game.
And just from red buff straight into a level 2 gank over to Team WE.
Yeah, first blood to RNG, first dragon to WE, so again, tit for tat from these two teams right now, and a little bit separated as both AD carries now coming off on the backside of this. Elk not quite a part of this fight just yet. You can see him just taking the long route around. It's going to be down to about 3,000 HP, and that's going to be reset a little bit. You can see RNG, they don't care about the Rift Herald just yet, but there goes the go button. They're going to try and jump onto Gala, who just dropped down the Chain of Corruption straight away. The Rift Herald still has not been taken. 3-man Shockwave on the backside of this, though, is missing, jumps onto Gala and takes him down. It's 2 quick kills. Make it a third here for the side of WE. They lose the Rift Herald, but they gain so much more.
Yeah, and wait, what are the other members of RNG doing? Okay, nothing's going to happen. Seems like they were hoping to maybe catch them out in transition and burst them out, not thinking they would be there.
A thorn in the side, if you will, of RNG when they tried to go for this early pick rotation. And now that they are able to get the Leona up into that top side, they should be able to get more pressure, should be able to put him off the turret, but I don't even know if they can go for a full engage anymore.
I mean, the wave is already cleared, so now, okay, engage comes out.
Shanks, though, going to be able to turn back onto Cry in the phase rush for both of them. The TP coming in, that's going to be the Irelia jumping in, but there's so much damage. Breathe needs to get himself out. He flashes away, but there's just nothing he can do. Great capitalization there, and WE just a little too trigger happy.
RNG were starting to back off as well. They were
Wei finds himself double pink warding as gets himself right into the brush, but there is Beishong waiting off into the wings. They're going to jump straight in now on top of him. TP going to be committed as well. They're going to drop down the Vanguard's edge as Breathe goes in with the Gale Force. Not quite able to get the kill just yet. The Realm Warp, tick, tick, no boom. As Cryan not able to get him. Shockwave does land on the Shanks, but they can't really move forward off of this. RNG tried to be creative, but they were answered by Shanks.
Xiaohu's fine.
Yeah,
nice
Xiaohu is fine. Yeah, good job, man. No issues there. A flash forward, Ruin Prison gets themselves the Everfrost. Now a TP coming into mid. That's going to be Xiaohu coming in right on top of Elk. I don't think he can take the damage. No, he can't.
Xiaohu.
And that's going to be Xiaohu not in the right frame of mind going into that mid lane. There's too many members of WE around, and he gets obliterated before he can do any damage.
Your mid laner gets solo killed. You think you're being... I actually don't know what you think you're being, because I think he started channeling the TP even after Cryan was dead. I could be wrong. Could have been like right before, but regardless, the other members of W are there, and you know they're on Rift Herald, and now, well, that Rift Herald went a long way. They break down 2 turrets mid, they break down a turret top, and, you know, RNG were an 8-series win streak. W had a win streak of their own coming in. I think that they're just not anticipating Ming.
Ming trying to see if he can get on top of Wei, and Crying going to be able to get a bit of revenge now onto Shanks. He does not have a flash, but while that's been happening, Crying kicks himself, or excuse me, it's going to be Wei picking up that kill. Now we're going to see the Fate's Call brought in. Beishong trying to jump in onto Ming, who will fall. Cataclysm goes down. There's the flag and drag back out, but missing in a little bit of trouble now. Will have to try and run away, but cannot do it. Now it's going to be Wei versus Elk and Beishong. He's trying to trade it back as best he can, but he just hasn't got the damage right now. It's a scrappy game one between Team WE and RNG, and Team WE are the ones coming out on top. They're going to be able to put themselves into Soul Point now.
We don't even know how we got here from the replay, but you assume both teams were posturing over getting positioning for Dragon. This is going to be WE's Dragon now at this point, and with the members of RNG dead, they can't even respond. Xiaohu potentially can look to try to get some more damage down to this top side, but I like it. Look at the minimap. Shanks is making his way up here as well. Has the Realm Warp, so Xiaohu actually not able to commit to that. Would go down in the end. I like that respect coming out from Xiaohu, but... still, 3K gold lead for the side of Team WE. Like Gala or Xiaohu. And for RNG, I'm not quite sure what you're looking at. Maybe like trying to go to midway first, push out in. Ming just going to go for the engage.
Missing, has to use the Zhonya so early, and they're going to jump straight on top of him. There's no escape for him, and now you've lost him out of this fight. RNG just capitalizing on a well overextended support of WE.
Yeah, I was just saying, I don't know what RNG should do. Maybe should do this, maybe they should do that. But Missing just hands it to them, and props to RNG because they chained CC perfectly to where Missing wasn't allowed to flash away after coming out of the Zhonya. So, You know, there was always a world where you flop that one, Missing does get away. His WE, they were trying to be sly, they were trying to do a two-man bear, and they do have Rise, who, again, you are pretty much just a DPS machine in terms of how fast you are able to get off damage with your abilities, but they need to be careful.
Yeah, RNG, though, haven't taken the dragon just yet. They are now back onto it. They have put way onto that objective as they continue to try and look for this. But WE are calling their bluff. They're saying, cool, we're going to be a 5-man stack pretty damn soon. And we take this very, very quickly. They have a Blade of the Rune King on their Aurelia. And, of course, they have the 2 items onto their Callista as well. And they're at a little bit of an impasse. They're waiting to try and get way back into this fight. He's nowhere near it. They're going to have the Chain of Corruption going down. Shockwave goes down. They lose the Baron. And now you can see RNG looking to see if they can just get anyone back off of this fight. WE need to run. WE need to get out. And they will. The Realm Warp is perfect. They will only lose Missing a game, but that is a win for Team WE.
WE just come out so far ahead. Wei tries to be a hero who even flashes and tries to get the burst down, but you just don't have the lockdown to keep people right in front of you. Xiaohu finding a kill onto Missing doesn't feel like it means anything at all. Xiaohu might be solo killed.
Elk gets flashed in on top of him, but they're going to try and turn the burst onto him. He can't kill him, and the TP's coming in off of this as well. Cryin is here, and they're going to try and get double TPs from WE as they look to try and keep their bot laner alive. It will not happen, though, and they will trade the jungle for the AD carry. But importantly for RNG, they are getting rid of some of these blue buffs, Baron buffs, as there is the double kill there for Breed. They can push into this mid. They can crack open the base.
WE definitely should be getting an inhibitor off of this play. Even Beishong isn't too far behind. They should feel comfortable about this one. Death timers are still decently long. Is WM surprised they don't want to go for it? They're actually making their way towards the bottom side. I feel like we just brought Jarvan over.
Yeah, honestly, I think if you're again, we talk about good investments, and speaking of good investments, Xiaohu might be in a little bit of trouble now up on this top side. We're going to see Missing go golden, and there's nowhere for you to go, Xiaohu. No flash, no way out of the Cataclysm. And honestly, the way WE have built this comp, I thought it was going to be like a team fight comp. No, it's a pick comp that is built around picking off Xiaohu when he doesn't have flash.
And for RNG, I mean, they can't even go for team fights, so I feel like we're seeing a lot of just them opting out, and then WE get whatever objective or get whatever they want, and then we see things like this where they're just opting into fighting on the side, as RNG do have a decent amount of wave clear.
I mean, Missing needs to be a little bit careful. He's kind of isolated on his own. Posture around. Important to note, though, the side waves are very much equal for WE and RNG. Top wave pushing in favor of RNG. But here we go. We're going to go in for the fight. It's going to be Dragon Soul picked up here by WE. Ming gets caught out. Has to go golden. I think it's going to be full retreat coming out here for the rest of RNG. They'll give up their support. Will anyone take the Realm Warp? It will be Breed. He's not that tanky right now. Wei as well also going to be taken out of this fight. WE got themselves a soul. They'll jump in with the Cataclysm onto Gala. No flash, no heal, no life bar. And that is RNG getting routed. WE destroying them in the team fight. And WE going to take this first game.
What a dominant performance coming out from WE as well. 6-series win streak, and they're looking to extend that. Every game win matters right now when we talk about playoffs, and WE pull it out.
WE dominating from the word go in this game. Nothing that RNG could do, and with those early dragons stacking, it was only a matter of time, and that
favored. But for RNG, they will always have these creative plays around them of bringing Cryin up to Xiaohu's side of the map, finding a pick, and trying to find ways into fights with a numbers advantage or getting it's some action coming out. We see that Wei is up towards the top side on our mini-map. Gold card comes out. Sonic Wave does connect, but Shank's able to back off with Missing here. They actually might be able to turn it around. Cryin close to going down. Does actually survive in the end, and they turn it around onto Missing. TP coming in from Xiao, who opens up for Shanks to get low and have to flash as well. Arcane Barrage doesn't end up doing absolutely anything. And yeah, RNG being the ones to come out with an advantage. Really nice turn for Missing is
themselves out, Crying just about keeping themselves alive. And that means, though, the WE will have the reset first onto this Rift Herald. And that means Xiaohu has to just concede. That can't really contest. As I say that, Wei is in the vicinity and can go in with a Q if he wants to. Will not get it, though. That will be secured by WE. But now the Glacial Fish are down, and they're going to be able to turn this fight around. Missing is already dead. Xiaohu, though, has been jumped on by Breathe and Elk, and they'll clean him up on the aftermath. Gold card lands. Shanks has no flash and nowhere to go. He's going to get taken down. Another kill for Gala as the WE have to run for the hills, and they might have to lose a little bit more on this top side.
So we could potentially see a 2v2 in River right now for this topside scuttle, but Breathe can move first.
Yeah, Breeze can move first, but I don't think he's going to have enough time. Cryan will pick up a nice pick there. Gold card into Lee Sin. Sonic Wave. Love to see it there from the side of RNG. And WE now falling further and further behind. They try to go in on this bot side, but with the Unbreakable there from the Braum, there's just not really enough trade back, and you've lost a lot of HP onto your support. I just don't see them how they can take this fight.
Still, WE getting a nice trade on the back end of that. RNG evening it out, being able to burst out onto Shanks right away is Breathe.
Oh, we've seen this before. Breathe in a lot of trouble, has got the flash available to him, but the culling with the gold card and a little bit of a safeguard to get themselves out. RNG doing what RNG do best and setting up a tent on top lane.
Gonna try and punish Xiao, who they can potentially try and set up a dive. They're extremely tanky. Realm Warp comes out.
Realm Warp does come out, but Shanks doesn't take it to turn off the turret. Xiao, who has no support, and Shanks picks up a kill. Nice move here from WE to keep this Lucian down. But while that's been happening, they're kind of losing elsewhere on the map. You can see mid and bot wave all being pushed in by RNG, and this is similar to what we saw in our first game of the series today, where you're putting so many resources topside, you're losing out, and you might even lose even more as they come into the bot side. Elk gonna have to use his cute cleanse onto the exhaust. They do miss the Winter's Bite, and that means that Elk will not lose any more. But WE are happy enough with that trade. They're still only about 3,000 gold behind.
So a lot
40
of
CS.
Team RNG's gold lead is
Breathe might be
Breeze
in
trying to set it
trouble.
up.
He flashes over. They land the Everfrost and the calling. Oh, that was so nice. Great teamwork there. Nice thumbs up there from Xiao Hussein. Cheers, buddy. They didn't even have to use any of their own flashes. So nice.
Smiles and laughs all around from Xiaohu right after making that play. 1,000 gold lead for RNG. W are still able to find windows to impact the map. Man, that hurt.
That is so much damage. You can see now the rest of RNG coming up to here. They're trying to see if they can catch out to him, and they will. Wei picks up his second kill of the game, 2-0-4 on this Lee Sin. This is kind of a little bit of a change we're seeing in RNG, where they're no longer going for those long scaling games. They pick very mid-game orientated team fighting teams where, like Amundo going full bruiser, like this is Eclipse Lucian. They are going for more that we need to win quicker rather than wait for the game to scale out.
A lot of that goes to Cryan's champion pool as well, because you can't use him as your scaling element anymore with all those champions falling out of the meta. As RNG, they won't be able to get the second charge off. They won't be able to force anything. If they do overstay, they got to be a bit careful with the WE coming from base in the realm map. They do have the Destiny available, and Xiao gonna just completely ignore the top side. They're looking for a pick.
They're looking for a pick onto Ming. He pops down the Glacial Fissure, even goes golden. There's Cryan with the Destiny Gate and keeps himself and his support alive in this fight. Not going to land himself the Everfrost, but the rest of WE have to back away. There is no objective to take, but a fight is still an objective. Keep Xiaohu there. He will be able to go for it. Speaking of going for it, missing, might be in a little bit of trouble. He has flash and should be able to use it to get himself over the wall, but he's trying to just delay it for as long as he possibly can. He flashes in. He gets the knock up, the knockback. It was all a bait. All of them, all of the side of WE trying to keep him in and not use that flash for anything except offense. They will have to burn though Shanks' flash as the rest of RNG came in to try and capitalize.
Missing that was so clever. Holding it. It looked like he was just waiting maybe to bring more members of WE over as I stopped Chains of Corruption to land.
Oh, Chain of Corruption is there, but Elk still has his cleanse. As we're going to see the fight now really kind of jump into this. As there's Shanks coming in off the TP, went back, tried to get himself a reset onto this, but very difficult. And nice little snipe there from Gala with the Varus, able to keep this one going in the favor of RNG despite them losing their jungler.
Gala doing so much. Cryan's teleport to guarantee they have it. Should be even able to catch out Breathe. Does that flash though?
He does have flash, but where can he go with it? That's the question. The Destiny Gate going to come in over the top of this. They're going to use the gold card, and Ming picks it up with the Winter's Bite. RNG have found themselves their second, third, fourth, and fifth gear, and they are not stopping.
Honestly, Penguin, this is great to see, but also scary at the same time, in my opinion, if you're an RNG fan. Like, this is some great gameplay coming out. They are taking over the map. They're finding their plays like this. The confidence to look for these sort of plays. They're not doing this too quickly, but they're setting up more picks.
Missing hasn't got a chance. You either contest the Baron or you die. Or you know what? Let's do both. As you can see, Cryan now just trying to play away from everybody else. He's got Breathe and Elk breathing down his shoulders. But they are going to get them off of the Baron. And
like penetration lethality that they are sporting on their side. RNG right now trying to just two-man this Baron while forcing WE out.
Ooh, Elk goes over, very aggressive, needs to be super, super careful, but look at the damage onto Missing there. He gets hit by the gold card and forced to use the Unbreakable, and that is before he has any HP. Now you can see the Baron down to about 3,000 HP, but they don't want it. They want to turn for the fight, and there's just too much burst damage. Goes Golden with about 1 HP. Beishong finally falls. That's the two tanky boys down and out for WE. RNG right back onto the Baron.
W just going to back off. They do still have their poke tools available, but don't even want to risk getting in range for, you know, maybe Cryin with his rapid fire cannon and gold card to come in range. So RNG just playing a very methodical game this time around. You're right, because your other three members of the team are quite versatile. If you can keep Cryin and Gaon comfortable, I think RNG are in a good place. And with this Baron buff, they're going to be able to start sieging down these turrets. Man, that damage is dirty coming out from RNG.
Is so nasty, and they're going to be able to break open this inhibitor turret. There is some low health bars for RNG, so they need to be a little bit more respectful, but Xiaohu is just a one-man army in this bot side. They will break open both tier 2s and the inhibitor turrets, and looking for that second inhibitor as well. It's going to be so difficult for WE to do anything.
RNG do need to be careful though, right? Because certain health bars have started to get a little bit low. Elk doing his best to put off damage. He is the big hope for the side of WE right now. Even connecting onto Cryin. But
oh my
man,
God.
that calling!
God! That calling does so much. Unbreakable will or not, he is broken, dead, buried back to the Shadow Realm. There is Ming with a fantastic Unbreakable to stop any kind of damage. Nexus turret number 1 falls. They're going to try and turn onto Shanks, who has to flash away after he goes golden, and they're turning back onto Beishong. He is being sacrificed. The bear is now a rug in RNG's front room, and they are turning on to absolutely everyone. There is nowhere that is safe for WE. They will lose this second game as RNG strike back hard and strike back fast.
That is the 8-win streak, that 8 series. They have a bit of the opposite, where they do have a decent front line coming out in both the Gwen and the Braum, but they don't have the engage, they don't have the amount of CC tools to start off fights like...
Picking up a nice little bit of armor. Nothing you can really do there. Beishong actually went with the exhaust, and just noticed there onto Gwen, so not going with Ignite or with Ghost, going towards more of a... Nicely done. Shanks has got himself a blue buff, so should be able to sustain into this lane, but needs to be a little bit careful because you get caught out. Flash forward, they jump in. There's nowhere for him to be able to go. He will, however, get himself flashed out. The Ignite not enough to take him down. Excuse me, it wasn't even a Ignite, it was a red buff, as there's Beishong with the needlework trying to make something work for him and his team. He will take up first blood. Not quite sure why the observers decided to go topside there for a second, but it is WE who end up getting the first advantage off of RNG trying to get a play.
And they're going to turn it into more objectives, going right into the enemy jungle, but Rift Herald coming up, they're going to turn onto this one. And RNG just didn't have the damage to take down Shanks. He's able to flash away, proccing the phase rush as well, finds the lockdown, and then WE are the ones who have the turn. So WE the ones finding a very nice foothold in this last game of the series against WE and RNG. And you were the one who brought you up, or you need to come in off counter ganks like we did see in that last play. But RNG going to be able to pick up the spot lane turret. You can see WE already making a response on the minimap, making their way up to punish Xiaohu. Xiaohu might have Shroud available, but doesn't have a flash, remember.
No flash for him. They haven't started the aggro just yet. They will drop down the Rift Heralds. That will take up the first little bit. As we can see there, the Viego just kiting in out. The Shroud will drop in 2, 1. There it is. The QSS, though, is enough to keep the Shanks away and keep him nice and push forward. Not going to be able to use the perfect execution perfectly, and that is going to be the top lane turret going down very, very shortly in response to the bot.
And Xiaohu, I guess, is either trying to not fall too far behind in terms of like EXP on the wave, but you should expect that play to be coming out from WE. Your jungle showing on bot side, taking away the bottom lane turret. W, of course, are going to make the responses. Okay, it's only missing here. I got a bit scared because I was looking at the minimap at the time, like, okay, it brought
positives of RNG. They are, TP very, very deep there, dead. There's nowhere you can go now off of this one here. You can see Breed getting caught up with the Chain of Corruption, but they are going to commit themselves their own TP. So here's Cryin, and they're actually turning this one around a little bit. They are going to be able to keep Beishong locked and loaded into the one spot. There's a piercing arrow onto 1. The Hail of Blades is not quite enough to get him, or Hail of Arrows, excuse me. And that just gives a lot of time to Xiaohu on this bot side to start picking up some free farm. And RNG, they don't lose anybody. I thought for sure the bot lane was dead.
from WE face checks. He's the one that locks him down to secure a kill. Ooh.
Oh, Elk, he has to use his flash, or not his flash, excuse me, his arcane shift on his heel. Turn back onto Beishong. There's the quickness going to be used. It's going to be the Glacial Fisher coming out. The TP going to be in. That's going to be Viego and the Akali coming in. Beishong, though, is dead and buried. That's the jungler there for WE. And Viego arrives and dies. And that's the perfect execution to put Xiaohu right onto the back line. That is RNG getting control of this Dragon Pit. Nothing WE can do. And they're going to put themselves on the sole point.
And they are going to put so much pressure on the side of Team WE, picking this one up, so more damage should have come out for them. Well, you know, individual Infernal Souls don't really mean anything. That's not the point, Penguin. They're on Soul Point, and yeah, really...
And Beishong on Gwen because they did not take it. I love this from Cryin. He swapped his spellbook to an exhaust. Dragon has been started. Wei is there in the pit. Does he look for the steal? He goes in. He's trying to look for it there. It resets a little bit, but no, it is Gwen who takes it. But now the fight can really begin. RNG trying to get on top of everybody. Xiaohu goes in with a perfect execution. Takes down the Gwen, and now WE are on the wrong side of this fight. The flash forward. Oh, Ming not quite able to get it. They get 3 people out. They will lose Breathe off of this play, but WE importantly take the Dragon.
Yeah, and oh, maybe getting Ming, but no, actually not in the end. Still, RNG going to be the team to pick up some kills, but you're right. I think RNG definitely would have preferred the Dragon close and could have been so bad for the side of WE. But this, ooh, this will be close.
This is going to be pretty bad as well. We're going to see the ult pop down. Shanks pop down the exhaust on top of him as well. But the rest of WE are here. You can see the needlework doing work as it takes down Rakan. But 2 for 1. We're getting resets here for Breathe. He gets silenced though, and nowhere to go for him. So that's going to be a nice little move here for RNG. They pick up 3, only lose 2, and they can continue the push in top side.
RNG are still just barely edging them out, though. No massive advantages to come through. Elk needs to be careful.
Oh, they land the shuriken flip, and that is where most of that damage is now front-loaded. As we can see, the piercing arrow maybe just going to go onto Elk, and yep, straight through his heart, and you're to blame. As RNG pick themselves up a bit more gold, and they're starting to pick up the pace a little bit. We had a very...
Bounce comes through, the damage comes through from the other members of RNG, and man, we just got more action, Penguin!
I told you, they're picking up the pace, they're looking for the kills, and Xiaohu finds Elk. Nicely done there by the side of RNG. Good kill there, and that might open themselves up for a Baron, because they can take this one pretty quickly. They got a Malzahar, they've got a Varus, and they've got a Xin Zhao. This goes down very fast.
Let's see if RNG go for it. This might be one of your only chances. You can potentially wait for the Dragon, but no, they are just going to go straight for this one. Xiaohu's only half HP, though, so they need to be careful, and he doesn't have any way of going for it back right now if they're going to go for this, but RNG are burning this down so quickly.
They're getting it down so fast. They're going to be able to bring it down to 3,000 HP, but a Chain of Corruption down onto multiple members on the side of WE means they cannot go anywhere. The Crescent Guard separates them out, and you can see now it's all onto this Viego, but it's not enough. He's not going to be able to keep it going. They only lose Ming. They gain themselves 3 more kills, and it's Elk with the ultimate, maybe trying to catch out Cryin. Ooh, it was close. Not quite able to kill him, but Cryin should be able to get himself out and back onto the Rift. Nicely done here by RNG. Missing, you need to leave. Sir, you need to leave. He's going to get sniped. Oh, so close. Not quite able to land it, but they do not have smite. Now they do. Missing in a little bit of trouble. Gets caught out by Xiaohu, who rings around the Rosie. Cryin now looking to see if he can maybe find Elk off of this with the Rylai's Crystal Scepter, but no ultimate available to the Malzahar means they have to just back themselves away. But Baron goes over to RNG, and now they can reset, get themselves back on the map for the minute's time for that Dragon Soul.
Out of the map, it looks like they're already making their way up towards top.
Yeah, they're going to try and all-in onto Xiaohu, but he gets the Shuriken flip. He's going to have the Proto Belt, and it's just nothing you can do. Now you've left your entire base open. That's going to be another inhibitor going down, and WE are falling apart, Lyric. They don't know what to do.
Yeah, RNG, they got ahead, and they've just restricted the options so much from WE. They're playing out with an advantage so well. TP comes in. WE has to make a stand.
They got to make a stand, but it's going to be without their support or without their mid laner. As Shanks almost goes down. They almost take him off of that one, but he'll be traded back in favor of the jungler. They take down Ezreal. They take down the Nexus turret, and RNG will continue their winning streak to 9-0 going into their final game this weekend.
The RNG hype